What's your shirt say, bitch?
Hot girls are into me. It says BYO.
Oh, but bring your own bitch. You're the bitch.
Bring your own bitch to the barbecue.
Oh, so much to talk about. What's the date?
Ah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless podcast. This will be for Wednesday, June 3rd. As always, I'm your host, Big Irish J, and we have... You fucking idiot.
Cocaine.
Kane Holloway.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
So I didn't do a podcast last week, and at least we can just get into it. What are your where do we start? Okay, so this is, we have a pandemic going on, and then George Floyd is murdered, and it's filmed. And so you do more videos on TikTok more than anything, right, Kane?
Yeah, I mean, right now I switched to TikTok, and
go ahead.
I switched to TikTok and do my videos there.
Well, no, what I was gonna say is, so my routine usually is, as I see different shit through the day or whatever, that I'm like, oh, that's a funny picture or video or whatever, I'll save it and I'll remember to, I'll save it, and then I'll the next day post it, or then when I wake up in the morning, I get on Reddit, I get on different things, and I'll see funny clips, save them, whatever, and then I'll start posting all those in my story, so people have shit to see in my story, funny clips, right? Then I go, okay, now I got to make my daily video. I work on my daily video, but this is my long way of asking it. So I'm wondering if you felt this too with doing videos since the George Floyd shit happened. It's just like, fuck, dude, I get on Reddit and I'm just seeing all the shit, and it's fucking depressing. And then I'm also conflicted, and I'm sure you've had that. You're like, I don't want people to think that I'm like, I'm not aware of what's going on, or that I'm oblivious to it, or don't give a fuck. But I'll speak to that more. But I'm just wondering what's going through, how you've been dealing with it, or your thoughts.
I mean, right now it just seems like, I've flipped through TikTok because, I'm in quarantine, but I haven't really contributed much. The last thing I posted was of somebody I captured a video, or got a video from Instagram of a small black girl talking about why the protests are happening, and she starts breaking down and crying, and
so
I was
brutal. Did I lose you?
I can't feel funny, and hello?
Yeah, I got you. You're back.
Piece of shit. Yeah, I don't feel particularly funny, and the voice that needs to be heard is not from me. The thing that I feel like I can do is push up the voices that need to be heard. That feels like what I need to be doing at the moment, and just taking a stance with this. So many people are actually making great videos about, like, somebody made a great video about the Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter shit.
Oh yeah.
And somebody said, like, and somebody goes, the
hose?
video is, or it was someone's house is on fire, and this woman, she plays both characters, and she's like, this house is on fire, we need to go help everybody this house is on fire. And then this woman whose house isn't on fire, it's like, well, what about my house? I'm like, is your house on fire? No, but all houses matter. And it's like, but this house is on fire, what don't you understand? If like your house was on fire, then we'd go help you. What is the point you're trying to make here? And you know, I it's just one of those times where you got to tell people, look, this is how I feel. Black Lives Matter, full stop. There doesn't need to be a qualification. I also saw another great video where this guy's like, if you disagree with me saying Black Lives Matter, good. And when you come to me and you say all lives matter, that's like, you don't need to qualify the thing. Of course, all lives matter, right? But right now, you know, and then he goes, and it's a sermon. So he's like that. Those are the same people that if Jesus came back and he started talking, and then he was like, blessed are the poor. And then one of those all lives matter people would be like, actually, blessed are everybody, Jesus. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Why?
Michael Che have you heard Michael Che's bit on Black Lives Matter?
Oh yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. So if anybody hasn't heard it, he says it's like saying to your girlfriend or your wife says to you, baby, do you love me? And he goes, hey, I love everybody. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I go back and forth with it, like, because it's like, you know, I've been telling this joke on stage when I open up the show. I talk about, you know, with the pandemic and everything, I say I realize that I'm pretty worthless in a pandemic or national emergency or pretty much life in general. I'm pretty worthless, right? I can't build a fire. I was like, I can bring you twigs, you know, that's it. But and then in the thing, I'm like, you know, what I'm going to tell dick jokes around the campfire. People are like, thanks for the, you know, way to contribute, Jay.
Right.
And then I end it by saying I'm not really a hunter-gatherer, more of an eater-sleeper. Kills.
Very good. I'm sure it does. Sure it does.
But my whole point of this, saying all that, is like, you know, I'm like, okay, what do I do? What do I do for a living? What am I? Or what do I do for a living? I'm a comic. It's also what I am, I guess, you know. So it's like, my job is to bring laughter and levity, right? And like, these are all the shit that was going through my head before I saw something that also really helped me, which I'll talk about that in a sec. But so it's like, you know, if I answered phones for a living, if I was a customer service rep, right? Mm-hmm. And all this shit, I still have to go to work. I still have to answer phones, you know. I can protest, you know, maybe say, hey, I got to take a day off or whatever to protest or do whatever. And I just go back and forth with it. I saw your thing. You posted those links, or you posted like, you can donate to here. And then I took that because you can't click on anything on IG. Like, it's just, you know. So I was like, this is great. And I'm like, how you know, how can we make this easy for people? So then I created a website, or I created a page on my website where people can just go to my bio and my IG thing, click that, and it takes you right there. It says donate. You click there and it has all the links there. So it's easy peasy or whatever. Right, but every morning I go through, like, you know, fuck, man, and the other thing too is, and I'm sure you feel this way too, as like, fucking even talking about this, like what we're going through is like, oh, Kane and Jay, poor you guys, you know, like, who gives a fuck? Right. But you know Patrick Cloud from All Deaf?
I don't think so.
He posted something and I was like, and then something also happened today that was pretty poignant, that felt good. It made me feel like, okay, keep doing what I'm doing. Patrick posted, he's a content creator and activist. He's fucking good dude. And he posted this thing in general. He goes, comedians, artists, entertainers, content creators. He said, keep doing that. People need that right now. They need you everybody. So I'm paraphrasing, but it's something to that effect. And then today, Kevin's brother, Jason Fredericks, he posted on his own page, he goes, hey, tag the people, tag the comedians and whoever that are helping you get through right now.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know, Kev's getting tagged, Tony, and you know, some people are tagging me in it, and like
Oh, nice.
specifically saying, you know, Big Irish Jay, thank you so much for. And I'm like, and you know, fuck, you almost get emotional because you're like, okay, fuck, maybe, you know, not to. In the grand scheme of things, anything I'm doing is fucking nothing, you know. I'm like, but it's like, huh?
It's also not nothing. I mean, you know, everybody's freaked out, and you know, they want to feel like everything becomes political, and it's just like, man, we can't unify, and then this comes along, and it's horrible. You know, this guy, you know, Chappelle covers it in one of his specials, you know, about how if for anything to change, something horrible has to happen, you know. So Floyd dies, and then it spurns this. I really hope a lot of change comes out of it. A lot of you know, people in politics have come out, you know, some and also cops who are saying like these cops are pure evil and give up the badge, and you know, this is all kind of stuff it feels like we weren't really hearing before, but now it's like, because it just like kept happening. Not a lot of cops or politicians, you know, just even a few years ago were willing to go as far as to say Black Lives Matter. You know, they want to cover all their bases. They want to make sure they don't offend anybody. And now everybody's like, dude, this fucking shit needs to stop. And
and how crazy is it? Ironic, I guess you'd say, or it just insane that Kaepernick's whole thing was kneeling, and this black man was murdered by a white cop kneeling.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
And all that, and everybody makes a great point. It's like Kaepernick was being peaceful, creating awareness, you know, and then I mean, it's just like you go crazy trying to understand why we just can't stop. I don't know, man. Like I try not to get too upset, but it's like it's kind of hard not to. It's just difficult not to feel this shit, and you know, you worry about all your friends. I was thinking about comedy today. It's like the greatest thing about comedy is how it, and this is only if you embrace it, but it'll take you out of your bubble, whatever self-isolated bubble you were in before. Comedy will mush cultures together. You know, you got all black shows, you got all gay shows, transgender shows. These are all things created, by the way, because so many straight white guys were filling up the lineups, and and everybody else was like, what about me? And so they had to create their own shit. But then when it becomes successful, you know, you get to, and you embrace other people's cultures, they bring you in, you know, and then you get to experience it. And that's the great thing about comedy, is like you stop being, you know, a race for a minute. You just start being a group of people enjoying each other. And
yeah, I think I did tell you, I talked to Nate Jackson today, who's a friend of ours that's a great comic, and because he's coming out here to Phoenix, or he's supposed to. He is. He found out he still is this weekend. But fucking just talking to him and like being able to just be comics, you know?
Yeah.
Like we both were saying some horrendous shit that, you know, that it breaks the tension and we can laugh about it. And yeah. I was just, you know, and it's just like, I mean, there was one thing I thought of that I was like, oh God, this is awful. He's like, no, dude, give it to me. And so I'm like, dude, I told him, and he just fucking, that Nate Jackson laughed, like, ha ha, fucking dying. And I'm like, oh fuck, it just, dude, like just little shit like that. I'm like, he has no idea how much that helped me today. Fucking,
yeah.
I was sitting there, you know, I had posted some videos and then to my story, and I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do today for my daily video? And like, you know, and then I talked to him and I was like, that boosted my energy. I needed that shit, you know?
Yeah, dude.
It's just, it's so crazy, you know? And
Yeah, dude.
I try and, you know, I'm posting every day that thing about the links that you can go to if anybody's listening to this and they want to donate, or they're trying to figure out what are some good places to donate for George Floyd, and also Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna, that I have, if you go to, it's bigirishj.com/donate, and it has all the links there. I have nothing to do with these other than just getting you an easy way to get to them. It's not like I'm taking a cut or any fucking thing like that.
Right.
That's another thing too. It's like you get in your head, you're like, I'm doing this because I want to make this easy for people. I donated to all of these, and I'm like, but then I don't want people to be like, you know, like, oh, you're just trying to direct traffic to your site. I'm like, no, I just want to help, man.
Yeah, it's
I'm not gonna I can't go out and protest. I fucking just did the shows this weekend, and I'm like, okay, now I got offered work this weekend, and I think I'm gonna turn it down because I worked this last weekend, and I want to give this 2 weeks of the incubation period and see, do I catch the fucking coronavirus?
Right.
So I can't fucking, plus I'm now in that age range, Kane, that's fucking susceptible to fucking corona.
You're so old.
I am.
You're an old man.
Dude, I was telling it at the show. I was like, I just had a birthday like 3 or 4 days ago. And they were, oh, happy birthday. I was like, yeah. I wish you were there just because it would have annoyed you so much. I go,
I'm sure.
You guys want to guess how old I turned?
Oh, God. 34?
Yes, dude.
35?
Yeah.
No way. Oh, there's no way. Ugh, God.
Yeah.
I hate it every time.
Oh, I got a standing ovation from an old lady.
Those are always nice.
Yeah, no, it was, yeah, it's so, I mean, the crowds, this was interesting too. And there was black people at the show too. That sounds so weird to say it like that.
Just FYI for everybody.
I mean, black people come to my show. No, I just mean like, it wasn't just fucking white people that, you know, I guess I'm saying the same thing over.
Yeah.
But the thing that was interesting is people want to laugh, you know, that's from the coronavirus, you know, and being cooped up and everything. And yeah, there was a couple that the guy's been here for 15 years, him and his wife, socially distanced, but we hung out after the show, and he bought me a drink, bought me a Guinness, and yeah, he's like, I know you, you know, I watch you on Ask and everything, good dude.
Nice.
And my friend Tiffany, do you know Tiffany?
Tiffany
Monique. She's I just met her through, you know, watching videos and comment and shit, and she always does the Netflix and chat. And dude, we were talking, and she just goes, she lives in New Orleans. She's from Boston, but she was like, I want to get the fuck out of here. She goes, I'm going to come to your show. I was like, no, you're not. What? So she did. She fucking, she flew out, got a hotel, came to the Friday Late Show, and then we hung out. And then Saturday she was like, all right, she went back to New Orleans.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. And yeah, me and Tiffany also been fucking like venting to each other, and just, I told her today, did you see fucking Trump's speech today?
No, I haven't really been on the news today.
Tiffany goes, just tell me what he says. I can't listen to his voice. And so she goes, give me the recap. I go, he's a fucking idiot. And she goes, well, at least he's consistent.
Yeah. Oh my
Dude,
God.
I don't have the exact quote, but this is the gist of it. He warned, the president of America warned America, the American people, he gave a warning to them that fucking shit's coming. And then he got done with his speech, and then he walked out into the streets over to pay his respects to the church that burned down. I'm watching it with Sean, like, we're both watching it live, and the Secret Service agents are like, yo, what the fuck? He's just walking in the street. It's
Oh my
he's
God.
fucking insane, dude.
Oh
He's
my
insane.
God.
And they played a tape of him talking to I think it might have been Detroit, or it might have been Michigan's
yeah, Michigan's governor.
yeah, where
Yeah.
he's like, well, I didn't like how you handled things, so
Yeah, you're weak. You can't show weakness. And it's like, oh my God, dude, you are absolutely completely out of your element in all of this. It's like you grew up with your dad's money, and then that was it. And now you're president, and you get to fucking say whatever you want. And
take my
instead of,
toys and go home.
dude, you could, and like, I mean, Jesus Christ, I watched the dude today on CNN. He's a police chief. I can't remember what state he's in, but he was asked about what the president said.
Oh, and you told him to keep his mouth shut?
Yeah, he's like, keep your mouth shut. He's like, we need Houston, yeah, and he's like, we need to fucking inspire people. We need to inspire the rioters and the protesters that things are gonna get better. Not that we're gonna fucking go to war, man. What are you doing? And if you vote for this man again, you're condemning us another 4 years of this shit. You are condemning us for the rest of this 4 years. I was watching fucking CNN's time docuseries about the 2000s and how everybody was worried about Y2K, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y2K hits, midnight fucking comes around, the rest of the world, and everyone breathes a sigh of relief. The world didn't end. The computers didn't fucking shut down, and the apocalypse didn't come. But guess what? Just a fucking year later was 9/11. After that, war in Iraq. Then the fucking 08 housing crisis. Then we've had riot after riot of systemic racism. And then fucking coronavirus, because no one's talking to each other. No one's fucking taking responsibility for it. And the entire world gets sick. Then we're still, even though we have an enemy, we can all unify together, right? Black, white, Asian, gay, straight,
Jesus.
transgender. We can fucking...
Wait, hold on.
What?
Clarify that, because you go, we all have an enemy. Black.
No, we can unify together as one.
I got you.
Right? All of the races. And
Yeah.
we can come together and be one, just human beings, and fucking fight against the pandemic, because it's coming for all of us, regardless of our skin, regardless of our sexual preference or whatever. And we can't even fucking do that because people are like, I don't want to wear my mask. Fuck you. Just wear it. Wear it till it's over. Is it really that much of an inconvenience? You fucking cunt. How fucking hilarious.
Like, you know what else
have
is
to
inconvenient? Fucking dying.
Yeah. How about you cut a hole in your mask because you can't breathe? Then it fucking gets into your lungs, and now you really can't breathe. And guess what? A black man said that exact same thing when a guy was kneeling on his neck. A white woman walks into a convenience store with a hole cut in her mask, completely forgetting the irony of what she's doing. I can't breathe. Right? Gets all upset because that thing goes viral, and I want that taken down because it makes me look stupid. I'm not stupid. You're stupid, right? But then this dude is suffocating, and he says the exact same thing, and look what it's doing. People, please come on, man.
And did you see the independent autopsy came out today?
Yeah. I hope all of them are fucking going.
Dude.
I hope they're all going.
You know what else is crazy? And this is a conversation we had today. I was talking to Sean, and he's in a city. We'll just say, I don't want to fucking people just go to his house, but he's in a city where his house is like 2 blocks from the main street in that city. And there's talk that everybody is going to be looting, rioting. There's been talk that, and let me distinguish, I'm not talking about the protesters, I'm talking about the looters and rioters, which are different. But there's been talk that these looters, these people rioting, are going to start targeting houses. They're going to just fucking go to houses and break in. So this is a conversation Sean and I had. Sean's like, oh, I know. He goes, I got my shotgun right here. But he goes, I only got 5 shells. So I got five, the term he used, he's like, I got 5 targets I can incapacitate, or I got 5 attempts or whatever.
Right.
We're having a conversation like I could only take out 5 people. Yeah. It's fucking so crazy.
It's like, and man, oh God. And it's just, I mean, and it's like, how can you not feel helpless? I mean, everybody feels helpless, and you don't know what to do. And you want to, I'm not a religious person, but if ever there's a time to pray and find God.
So you're the reason. Maybe if you would have just prayed sooner.
It was like the one vote that counts.
Dude, I wrote a premise.
I'll get off my ass if Kane gets on his knees. That's all.
Dude, it's so funny you say that. I wrote a premise in my phone about, when people it's kind of a fucking dark thing. And this is before the fucking George Floyd shit. But when somebody says like, like my aunt's in the hospital, if everybody can just, pray for her, she's going in for surgery, right? And I wrote, what if that's like, what if I'll pray for you? I wrote it here. What if I'll pray for you as like a GoFundMe God has? You have to get, he has to get a certain amount of prayers from people before he'll be like, okay, you met your goal. That person gets to live. It's such a fucking weird thing.
You reached this tier.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus.
It just made me think of that though. But fuck, dude. Yeah, man. I know we've been doing Zoom shows. I've been talking about that on the fucking regular show too. I said, my last show I had bachelorette parties, and I was like, I just kept thinking, man, this sucks. I don't think comedy could get any worse than this. And then I said, in the last 3 months I've been doing fucking TED Talks on Skype. And I tell the audience, I was like, and then people don't mute their mics. So you're in the middle of a punchline, you hear, bitch, I told you to do fucking dishes. I'll fuck you. All right, well, that kind of took levity out of the show.
Right, exactly. Hey, can you turn on the air conditioner? My ice cubes are melting.
The dog took a shit.
I've actually had a pretty strangely good time on Zoom comedy shows. I don't know why, but I just dick around on them. It's like, it just kind of feels like a situation where you're just like, look, this is the best we got right now, and I might as well just try and have fun. And then they ended up have been, because I'm not, I'm basically having a conversation while sprinkling in some musings of my own. Oh God!
Do you do it like this? Do you sit down and do it?
Yeah.
Oh, did the Nowhere Comedy Club where they're like, can you fucking just put some effort into it?
I did a Nowhere show, and
it was on my birthday.
You did a Nowhere show on your birthday?
No, you did. You did a show on my birthday. You probably don't remember. You didn't call me, so it's cool.
Fuck. Hold on, I'm gonna text you right now. Happy birthday.
All right, good, cool.
Dude,
thank you. All right, go ahead. What were you saying?
I didn't have my laptop, so I had to get my phone and go to my car, and then drive to an area that had good Wi-Fi, and then do it from my car. And Hofstadter's like, "Come on, man."
I bet. I fucking.
I'm like, this is all I got.
I have a brick cloth background. I light it. I stand up. I do it up. But
I want to stand up.
What'd you say?
I want to actually feel real.
I do. I don't mind.
I didn't have the resources.
They some comics are like, I can't do it, man. How do you do it? And I'm like, after you do the first one, it's all right. I go, it's just like a half a second delay in laughs, maybe,
Yeah.
But I will say this, like, I think 10 minutes is probably the max sweet spot.
Yeah.
I had,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you headlined that Nowhere one. How much time did you do?
I ended up canceling it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? Didn't want to do that much
Because
time.
yeah, no, I only 9 tickets were sold,
Ah,
so we just ended up having to cancel it. So I didn't do it.
isn't that crazy that fucking there's not enough tickets to do an online show?
I know.
But
Well, they pay a staff to run the thing, and
yeah.
so with ticket sales, that goes to everyone running Nowhere Comedy Club. And since I'm not a draw J, then they had to just cancel it. And I'm like, would you do this to Greg Proops? I don't think so. No, you wouldn't.
One thing that's good about the limited seating, I'm selling it out, bro.
How good did it feel to get on stage?
I'll tell you in 1 sec. I just wanted to say one other thing about the Zoom thing. What's the longest set you've done on one of those shows so far?
15.
I co-headlined. I don't know why I did this because I co-headlined one.
I actually co-headlined.
Hey, I co-headlined one with
elbow.
Yeah. Hey, fucking. And then on your camera, you go, oh.
Ow.
Wait, here we go. It's going to be on your left shoulder. You ready?
Yeah. Ah, god damn.
Wait, I did it wrong. Okay, one more. Ready?
Wait. And then it comes over here. Let me go over here.
You're
all right, now do it.
I blame it.
Now do it.
Right.
Do it. No, that's the wrong way.
Anyways, fuck it. Who gives a shit? I co-headlined with Colin Moulton, and I did 35 minutes.
Oh, boy.
I do it in the garage here in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking, and I did a Nowhere one where Steve had me go last. So I sat in there for an hour, and I said it. I go, hey, I love Steve. I'm very appreciative of oh, dude, I won that Martin Grant thing. I was one of those people. So I went up, and I was like, I opened with this. I go, first, I want to say thank you to Steve. Steve's a good buddy of mine. He's been great to me. And the grant, I'm very appreciative. So I guess, thanks to his dad for dying. I didn't know how. It's just in the middle of saying it, and I didn't know how to wrap up what I was thinking. And so I was like, I guess thanks to his dad for, dying. I don't know. But then I then immediately followed it up with, I tell Steve, before the show, we're in the virtual green room, and this is all true. And Steve's like, how's it going? I was like, well, I'm in this garage. It's hot as shit, but, things are good. And then he puts me on last. I was like, this fucking asshole has me sitting in here. Ah, fuck. But, dude, the 35 minutes was fucking brutal. And,
I bet.
And also fucking Norwest is doing little comments to the room and so I'll be doing this, and I'm looking at the camera, and then I'll see a fucking thing pop up, and I'm like, I go in, and it's like, do you really think Jay's a fat 8? Yes, no. And I'm like, and I go, great, I'm getting fucking heckled by a fucking Zoom show. Ah, oh, dude, it was fucking so brutal. It's bad enough you're...
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's bad enough you're fucking got to do these Zoom shows, and then you're getting heckled.
He heckled me at when they used to do the Sunday night men versus women. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a mix between stand up and improv games, Battle of the Sexes. And I got up, it was after the Seahawks had lost, and I'm in where it's a Tacoma Comedy Club, and I get on stage, and then he's like, I'm going around. I'm like, all right, who's ready for a great show? Blah, blah, blah. I'm doing all the intro shit. And then Norwest, I didn't know it was him, but in some weird effect to his voice, he goes, tell a joke. And I fucking I was already tense because I was like, Seahawk fans are usually pretty irate and unruly when the Seahawks lose. They just go apeshit and they get drunk and they take it out on the comics. So I was ready for that. And then that guy said, and then some random dude is what I thought. So I go, oh, fuck you. And I called him a cunt. So then he leaves, and they walk in, and he walked into the green room to the rest of the comics. He goes, hey guys, I'm not sure how tonight's show is going to go, because I heckled Kane and he called me a cunt. So we'll see what happens.
Well, the show's this weekend, so we did one Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. We were going to do one Sunday, but we had to cancel it because the governor put a curfew in curfew in order, not in order.
In
Curfew.
place.
There you go.
Wow. Jesus, read while
Get
you're
up there, you know.
Just read a book. Just one book.
I can't read. So Thursday show, it was light, and Thursday show was not. I wasn't in the moment on anything. It was a knock the rust off show. It went fine, and I'm sure the audience wouldn't have known any different than any other show, but then the rest of the shows were all pretty, like one of them, they had people in the back. It was, I mean, I think it was as packed as it could at limited capacity or sold out or whatever. Yeah, I got that that one standing ovation from this lady, Coco, that she had a laugh that I was like, you have like I'm a party girl laugh. And all of her friends were like, oh yeah. And so she was hammered and I kept fucking with her the whole show. And, but it was, like by the Saturday early show, I was like, oh, I already feel like I'm back in that zone, in the groove.
Ooh.
And it was, shit's happening and you think of the perfect line to play off something, and then boom, right back into your shit. And then fucking, it's like anybody listening to this, I don't know if it equates, if you're not a comic, but I know you know what I mean, Kane. It's just like, you're just fucking, everything is like, you don't have, this is the best way I can explain it if you're not a comic. If you're just out in the world and somebody says something and then you just say whatever, and then you get home and you're like, fuck, I should have said this. This would have been fucking perfect. I hit all of those. All of those came to me in the moment. Perfect timing, you know?
Oh, God.
That was great, yeah.
You're describing my absolute dream. I've been opening every one of my Zoom sets with a true story, and it's like one of the last club gigs I did right before quarantine. And this woman comes up to me and she's really, really nervous. And she tugs on my jacket to like get my attention because I was talking to somebody else. So then I turn and look at her and she's like, she can't really make eye contact with me. And she's like, hi, I just wanted to tell you. And by the way, I never do stuff like this. So just so you know, but I watched your set and I had to tell you that I thought that you were vulgar and not funny. I was like, what the fuck? And I thought she was joking. So I was waiting for her punchline, the thing that.
And then her face is just.
Yes, that's exactly.
It's like, she's like, I've told you how I feel. This is my complaint to the manager. So what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. And I was waiting for her to be like, oh, I'm just joking. See, I could be a comedian too, like that shit. So I'm waiting for that. Nothing comes. And then it hits me. Oh, she means that. She actually means it. She hates me. And so I was like, and then when I realized it, I just look at her and I go, oh. And that's when she locked eyes with me and she goes, yeah. And then she just kind of walked away. And I just could not stop laughing.
Oh, how great would it have been if you didn't give that time to figure out she wasn't joking and you just fired off a funny response to like, fuck you, you cunt.
Oh, God.
Oh, dude, there's another thing I told at the show. Like, I go, isn't it weird now? Like, when I cough and people are like, oh, my God. I go, oh, no. It's just AIDS. It's just AIDS. And people are like, oh, thank God. Thank God he just has AIDS.
Yeah. Can't get that airborne, no matter how hard we try.
Unless you're fucking a guy named Airborne. Am I right? Come on. All right. Oh, yeah, here we go. Wait.
The other way.
No, it's this way on mine.
On mine, it's... Okay, Jesus, there.
No, put your hand back. There you go. One, on the count three. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we did it.
You missed it.
No, it worked out good on mine. I'll put a fucking sound into it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was... It's good, man. It's good. It's as far as like getting back into it now. So now I have on the books right now. I have a date towards the end of this month, but I would have to fly to it, and I don't know if I want to. I don't want to fly yet.
I don't want to fly.
I mean, this one was fine because I just drive there. I don't touch any. I mean, you know, I fucking go in. I was elbowing everybody, you know.
Right.
And so I don't want to fly to fucking DC. That's where it's at too.
Is it at the loft?
Yeah.
Nice. I like the loft.
I don't know if
I wouldn't though. Like I've been talking with Gar and like just a bunch of other comics that hit the road a lot, and we're all just kind of like, nah, not yet, man. It's just like not yet, because you like, and Foster put it pretty great. He's like, what if you're the ticket sale and you're the reminder you got him sick? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I would more than likely go and feature or whatever, but yeah, I'm gonna wait.
I mean, you're getting unemployment.
Yeah, I'm getting unemployment.
Thank God, dude.
I know. And then also the Zoom shows pay. Doing Don't Take Bullshit from Fuckers just jumped to the All Things Comedy Network, and so we're about to get sponsors, which is nice. So, you know, things are starting to come into effect. But yeah, it's just like, as much as I love it and I miss it, and I truly do, like listening to you talk about riffing and getting heckled, it was like what I think audio porn must feel like. That's just like getting all excited. Like I got lightheaded, like, oh fuck, just to be up there. And that club is amazing too.
And it's just, like I said, it's just, you know, it's, if you're not a comic, it may not resonate the same as it does for us as comics. Cause we all know when we've been in that, you're in that zone. You're in a groove. Mm-hmm. And that's where it was. By Saturday early show, like both the Friday shows went fine. They went great, but Friday early was packed. But that Saturday I was like, you know, I'm like, I feel like, oh, I'm right where I left off. I'm good. And, you know, it's like you're in a groove in the sense of like you have your jokes, you know, I'm also doing my new shit too, where I'm telling the trans lady joke. Oh, and that's doing great. And I'm like adding different stuff and playing with shit as I'm doing a brand new joke, and it's working. It's just fuck yeah, it is that you're just like, oh god. Like, sorry, front row. Oh fuck. Have you? I know I've been seeing the videos and shit that you're posting, and like I said, I'm trying to post at least one thing a day to you know, about George Floyd and shit, and keeping that. Are you doing any comedy shit or funny videos?
I was gonna put something up, but then I just was like, you know, I don't need to do it right now. Like for me, you know, just personally, it's like, I don't feel funny.
Dude,
you know?
I'm telling you, I yesterday, what was it? It was fucking something happened that like got me or switched it. But dude, I posted my daily videos, you know, or like the, not the daily, but the stories, you know, the quick shit. And then I just was like, fuck. And usually I start working on my daily video like around 10:30 or 11. It was like 1. It was like 1. And I was like, fuck, man. Does anybody give a fuck? Yeah, like, you know, and then you're like, are people going to be like, I understand. 100%. You know, you're like, is somebody going to see this and just be like, really? You want to fucking tell jokes when fucking black people are being murdered in the street, and then now the protesters are getting fucking kicked in the faces? Dude, it's just insane. That's the shit that's even crazier, is that, you know, peaceful protesting. And I saw one dude, he gets his mask pulled down by the cops so he can spray him in the face. I saw one dude that there's a group of people in the back. There's a bunch of protesters back here. One guy that's kind of by himself walking. I don't even think he was walking towards the cops, but he's like in between where the protesters are. He's here and the cops are here, right? And he's just standing there like that. You see a tear gas pellet come and hit him. He kind of turns this way, and he's still got his hands up. He turns back this way. a fucking tear gas canister, boop, ricochets off of his head, and he just fucking drops. And I'm like, and it's from fucking, they're firing it from 10 yards away. I'm like, dude, that guy might be dead. Dude, all the people are getting like their eyes fucking getting blown out by these rubber bullets that are,
Yeah, dude, it's fucking chaos, man. It's like,
and then I watch that and then I'm like, okay, time to be my funny video.
Yeah. Dude. It's like, what are you going to do? And like, I just couldn't, like, I was trying to watch, I was like, all right, let me watch a movie that I know that's like, that can like take me out of it for a minute. And so I put
it's
on.
It's crazy you say that, because I did the same thing. I want you to tell me the movie, but I was like going through Netflix and I was like, I need something like funny. And I like documentaries and stuff, but I was like, no, that's going to just put me in that headspace. I'm going to be still in that headspace. But go on. What were you saying?
Oh, I was like, I want to watch like a hero triumph over evil. So I was like, I've seen Mad Max 100 times. I can watch it and enjoy it. I couldn't pay attention. It started and I just kept like looking over at my phone. I'm like, just don't touch it. But then I'm like thinking about everything and I'm like, I can't even watch this. I can't even let it take me away because I just can't stop thinking about it. And so that's when I just did a bunch of research. I turned the movie off and I was like, all right. And I went on blacklivesmatter.com and, got the links. And then it made me think of the story that I later posted today I posted this morning about how when I got the gun pulled. Did I ever tell you that? The cop pulled a gun on me?
Yeah.
And I always like, basically I was on the road and I was speeding and I got pulled over for speeding and I got an old car, 2005 Ford Focus, and it's got crank windows. And since I'm on the freeway, I got to lean over and roll the window down. Well, the cop is freaked out that he sees me leaning over, and then I lean back up and I wait for him with my hands like on my lap. So he just pulls his gun out and he's screaming at me and asking me what I was doing and if I have a weapon. And I just explained to him, like, no, it's just crank. I got my hands on the dash and I'm like, I'm a poor comic. I don't make a lot of money. This is an old car. They're just crank windows, man. And he just kind of giggles like, oh man, yeah, I hope it picks up for you. Puts his gun back in his holster and he writes me a ticket and then he bounces.
You should have been like, you couldn't get rid of the ticket, man. You pulled the fucking
exactly.
gun.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Scared the shit out of me.
Fucking, you smell that shit? I shit my pants.
And I'm in Oregon trying to get to California, man.
Oh.
So, I just was thinking about that moment and I'm like,
oh yeah,
my white face got me out of getting shot.
Dude,
I mean, how can you not put it in that context when George Floyd is being accosted for what might possibly be a counterfeit $20 bill? They're not even remotely kind of sure, but they pin him to the ground for that anyway.
Well, the thing, dude, he's face down, handcuffed. Not that it's right, but if your argument was to say, okay, I had to put my knee in his neck to get him subdued, right? To subdue him. Okay, you have him face down, handcuffed. He's subdued.
Yeah,
he can't. Over. Is he gonna roll away? You can't fucking do anything.
Yeah, that's why they fucking, you see MMA fighters tap out.
Yeah,
because they could get choked to death.
It's a fucking blood choke. He's on. Yeah. Oh God, dude. I remember growing up. My family's a majority come from law enforcement, and I remember being told how to act when I get pulled over. Like when you're pulling over the side of the road, pull way over so that either you pull over so they have enough room on the right side to walk, or you pull way over so they have enough room to come on the left side. And like you say, you put your hands on the steering wheel, you announce everything before you do it. Like he was like license and registration. You're like, it's in the glove compartment. I can reach with my left or right, whichever, all that shit. And I remember when I wasn't in high school. I was out of high school. I was probably 21, 22. I was dating this girl named Walida. Used to call her Willita Applebum. And I remember I was taking her home, and this was probably 1 o'clock at night, and we're on 15th and Killingsworth, which at the time was, you know, I lived on 52nd and Killingsworth, and 15th and Killingsworth was, I guess, the rough part of town,
Right.
whatever you want to say. But she lived by there. I'm taking her home, and a cop pulls up behind me, and then they're doing that shit where they're just following you, and I'm like, I know what they're doing. So I'm like, excuse me, I'll just pull over so he can go around me. I'm not gonna play this game where he's just gonna follow me for fucking 10 minutes waiting for me to make a mistake.
Right.
So I pull over. As soon as I pull over, he pops the lights on, parks behind me.
Sure.
I roll down my window, and I'm so fucking pissed. He comes up, and he's like, I can't remember what he said. I don't know if he was like license registration or what are you doing out or what's your story. I just remember I was like, why'd you pull me? Why'd you pull me over?
Why are you talking to me after I pulled over on my own accord?
You know what his answer was? So funny. I didn't signal long enough before I pulled over. Yeah. And I was like getting pissed, and Walida was like, calm down. Yeah. And then finally, when I gave him my license and he saw my last name, Hollingsworth, he was like, is your father an officer? I was like, nope, my uncle is. Steve Hollingsworth, head of the gang task force. I was so fucking pissed, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. It gets me angry just thinking about it. And I think you're probably similar to me. Like I've always been this way where it's, and I've always said this. I was like, you can say whatever you want to me. As long as you don't touch me, I don't care. But I'm a lot quicker to fight for my friend than I am for myself. Like, yeah, I'll be triggered more, however you want to put it, on some, you know, and not even a race issue, any issue. Like I'm more quick to stand up or fight for a friend than I would for myself, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and you don't really, yeah. I mean, I'll just walk away. Like I'm not it's not, I guess maybe there's like a self-care component to it that I guess I don't possess, but it's more so like, I don't care enough about whatever we're arguing about to throw a punch. Yeah. You know, you don't like me, I don't like you, and we're arguing about something right now. I'm going to grab my shit and I'm going to leave. I have no interest in fighting you. It's pointless. And then the rest of my day is what? About how either I beat you up or you beat me up?
Probably the second.
Probably more than likely the second one. But you're right, you know, and then like, and you don't really know how you're going to react in that situation until it's presented. And then, you know, I've been presented with that, more than I'd care to. And you're just like, oh, okay. You know, it's good to know that in that situation, I'll leap into action, you know, with Dylan, you know, it's just like.
Dude, I remember, you know, Matt and Mark, like my brothers.
The Garlington brothers.
You got it. So I don't know if you know this story. So when this is right out of high school, Matt was coming home. Matt and Mark, they were, I think they lived together at the time, but Matt, I think they were coming home from work, or one of them, just some random white dude, old dude. He was a vet. I don't know if he had PTSD or whatever. Starts calling Matt and Mark the N-word, right? Fucking yelling at them, and they're trying to diffuse it. They're just like, okay, man, whatever. Fucking. Long story short, this dude has a knife, stabs Matt, fucking stabs him in the abdomen.
Holy shit.
Mark calls the cops, you know, and they're trying to keep this guy the fuck away. The cops show up, and what do you think the first thing they did was, Kane?
They arrested the old white man, and racism ended forever, right?
Close. They saw a black man bleeding from a stabbing wound, handcuffed him, and put him in the back of a police car until they could figure out what was going on. And dude, I remember too that, we went to, and I was in Seattle at the time. I was in Seattle, and I remember, I think James might've called me or Mark might've called me. And I remember I was at Verizon, and I freaked the fuck out because I felt like I had moved away and I wasn't there to, to be able to do anything, not saying that I'm fucking, my martial arts would have unarmed him or whatever, but I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I'd have been killed. Who knows? But I felt like almost like it was my fault because I wasn't there. Right. I remember going down to Portland and being at the hearing, and I got a warning. I got a warning from the judge because the lawyer, I think it was the lawyer. I don't think it was the guy that stabbed Matt, but he was talking about Mark Garlington, but he kept calling him Marcus. And I was like, he was like, and then the plaintiff or what, one of the victims, Marcus Garlington. And I was like, I was sitting next to me. I was like, why the fuck does he keep calling him Marcus? He keeps calling him fucking Marcus. His name is Mark. Right. And then finally I was like, it's Mark. His name's Mark.
Yeah.
I'm not laughing at I was just so fucking, I couldn't handle it.
Yes, of course.
I was like, I know what you're fucking doing, you cunt. Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Exactly.
I mean, gets me amped up. Fucking Marcus. Marcus Garlington. I was like, I've never heard fucking Marcus Garlington in my life.
Yeah. You don't know him to know him as Marcus Garlington. It's fucking Mark. Stop doing what you're doing, you transparent piece of shit. I had a buddy growing up, lived in the neighborhood. His name was D, and he would hang out all the time with us. And I remember me and Bobby.
Do you like pickles on his burger, D? Think it out.
D pickles?
No, I said, did he like pickles on his burgers? D? Don't get it?
Nope. You're gonna have to explain it.
Racist pickles.
Oh, I gotcha. Yes. One of your jokes.
Yes. All right, go on.
I actually do quote that joke for some reason. Like you're, it's like I don't. It sticks with me all the time. It's like no offense with it, but these white devils are taking my pickles, Jay. What do you got to say? What do you got to say about them taking my pickles, Jay? Money, Jay.
You know what's so funny is like. To me, that is one of the funniest parts in the joke, and that specific line about, no offense, Jay, but these fucking white devils.
Yes.
To me, that's hilarious, but never really gets much. But I keep doing it just because it's funny to me. But
yeah, I love it. That's my favorite part of the joke.
It is crazy what you like jokes you remember. Yeah, and like little lines like that. I know you're about to tell a story of that. That fucking the comedians thing when they were like sitting on a cock because I'm gay. Sitting on a cock because I'm gay.
Yep.
And he was like, I still remember this day. I don't know, you might know this, Kane. I was telling somebody this weekend, a young comic in Seattle at the open mic had this joke. And okay, anybody watching or listening to this, if you get triggered by fucking dark humor, you can leave right now. You should end the podcast right now.
Yeah.
This guy had a joke where he went up at the open mic. It's so fucked. But he goes like this. It was just so like nonchalant, low energy. He goes, like rape is obviously rape is horrible. Rape is awful. But I've always wondered like the rapist, like before he goes out on a night to rape, is he in front of the mirror like, ooh, got a hot date tonight? It's so fucked up. Oh fuck! Do you know who that is?
No, I don't remember. But I know.
He's like, are they like putting cologne on? They're like, ooh, got a date tonight. Fuck, man. It's so fucked.
Oh god. Oh my god.
It's fucked, but I remember it to this day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think I know. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it, but I remember you telling me.
Or that's joke. Like, I'll never forget the story of the white headliner black feature.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Dude, that's the greatest. I told tricks in Vegas, and every time we went somewhere that there was a comic, Tricks was like, you got to tell him the story. He's like, this is the greatest story ever.
It is the greatest story ever. And it's just like, one, learn your lesson, and
Yeah.
always watch the feature.
You know, I lost a follower because of that.
Oh, really? Why?
Because telling the story, it was a black lady that I had posted. I don't know if I think I had posted it on one of my daily videos, and I just told the story. And I was like, "This is the fun." And comics, you know, most people were just like, "Holy shit!" Black comics, fucking, you know, everybody was. And then one person goes, "I don't see how that's funny," and I'm like, "Well, I can't fucking explain it to you if you don't get the. I guess I should tell the story now.
Yeah, sure. Hi, buddy.
Or do you want to finish your story first?
Well, no, it's just
finish your story, and I'll tell this at the end.
all right. But it's nothing like the Mark getting stabbed story. But me, Dee, and Bobby were walking up to my buddy Mikey's house, and we were.
Was Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky there?
Fuck you. So, as we're going,
who did you say? Me, Mike, Bobby, and Dee?
Me, Mike, Mikey Volpe, Bobby Zimmerman, D. We are all fucking rolling out.
You had Bobby and Mike. You just needed Ronnie, Ricky.
Yep.
You need Ronnie and Ricky.
Ronnie and Ricky. So this car goes zooming past we're like walking in the middle of the street, and this car is fucking flying down our neighborhood, and then he starts honking and not slowing down. So we like turn around, and as he's like, and he's in a truck, so as he's like rolling by, we have to like step out of the way, and then we start yelling at him, me and Bobby, and we're yelling at him, and then like he starts to slow down, and we're just like cursing. I'm like, "You piece of shit, motherfucker!" And D's like, "Guys, stop, just stop right now, please." And we wouldn't stop yelling, and we're like, "No, this motherfucker can't roll through our neighborhood like that. He almost killed us." And D's like, all right, I'm not hanging out with you guys today. And he ran home. He's like, "I'm not dealing with this." Because he's like, "I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but I know out of the three of us, I might not make this story." Yeah. So it just made me, think about like, when you're white, you just don't even think you just start yelling at anybody. Hey, justice, there needs to be justice, or, and you don't think about your own mortality, because why would you?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Way to bring it down.
Sorry.
I'm just fucking joking. I'm joking. No, I did actually. Thank you. This is fucking good.
Yeah,
to be able to like get it out. Fuck.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I've been talking to other comics, and like, I think a lot of us are in that headspace, white, black, whatever. That we're just like, can I do something funny? Am I allowed to? Fucking, I'm not gonna say it, but Nate has a joke that he's working on related to all this shit, and I was like, it's great.
I'm sure it's amazing. I'm not somebody that's good with sincerity, and then I even told Nate when I texted him, I'm like, I wish it didn't take this to make me text you like how much I how much I admire you and Ralph and Tony Daniel. And
I should text all of them and just go, "Hey guys, with everything." No, just go, "Hey guys, with everything going on, I just thought it was important that I take the time to text you guys and let you know that Kane really appreciates you." Kane thinks really highly of you guys. All right, man. Catch you later.
It's just, I think about that with everybody. Like, I've been checking in with everybody, and it's just like, man,
I mean, other than me. I mean, it wasn't like you called me on my birthday.
I didn't call you on your birthday.
No, that's what I just said.
I know.
So do I. So I guess you aren't checking in with everybody.
I've been checking in with the people I love. All right. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Understood. That makes sense.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, even though I said I'm not good with sincerity, I'm really, really
not good with sincerity.
I'm not, but I just want to say when it comes to your birthday.
I'm not going to let you do it.
Hold on. But
let me tell this story. My battery's dying, so I got to tell the black and white. You're not going to fucking do it.
I will. So
no, you won't.
You got to believe in me. Believe in me, Jay.
So, okay, here, we'll end it with this. Oh, first, here, give your plugs. You want
You
to
can
plug anything?
follow me at Kane Holloway on Instagram. And then also listen to my show, Don't Take Bullshit from Fuckers, that I do with Greg Barrett.
Are you still doing the other one?
Oh, yeah. I also the Well Actually show that comes out. We're taking a hiatus just for the next 2 weeks.
All of you? All 8?
All 8?
Yeah. Isn't there 8 of you?
8 of who?
Well, you said hi, 8 us. Fucking boo.
No, wait. A person named Hi ate us?
They must be full now.
Shut up. I'm so glad I missed your birthday.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. All right. You can just go to bigirsj.com for anything I'm doing. I don't think I'm going to do this show this weekend, but I got to call Casey back after this. All right. So here's the story. Kane knows the story. There's a white headliner, black feature. Kane knows the story. You told me the story. White headliner, black feature. Do you want to tell the story, Kane?
No, I've told the story once before on the show, so you can hear my version if you go back catalog the HollingsWorthless podcast. But now let's get Jay's version of it.
Okay. White headliner, black feature. Weekend's going great. The black feature has a joke where throughout the joke he says, "I'm that N-word," but he says the actual word. Right? I'm that N-word. Because I'm that N-word. I'm that N-word. He ends his set by saying, "Because I'm that N-word. Good night." Everybody laughs, cheers, boom. He's great. Everybody loves him. White headliner comes up and opens with, "Hey, give it up for that N-word." But also says the actual word. Everybody laughed. Everybody thought it was really funny. They're playing off each other. Everybody thought it was funny except for the black feature. Yeah. So Saturday night comes and the black feature doesn't do those jokes. The white headliner doesn't watch his set.
Right. Because from Thursday, Friday early and late show, the black feature had been doing that and closing on with the callback, "I'm that N-word." And so
the white headliner goes up Saturday, having not seen that the black feature had not done any of those jokes, and opens up his set as he did every other show with, "Hey, give it up for that N-word." No context, no relation to anything that the guy had just said. And the whole audience just goes, "What the fuck? What?" I would have loved to see him try and dig out of that.
I bet it is one of the worst, greatest things you'll ever watch in live performance.
And I would love to. I can just imagine whoever that black feature was, just.
Yeah, dude, just fucking reveling in his idea. I also want to wonder if he thought of it himself or was talking about it with other people, and they're like, "Don't do it anymore."
Yeah.
And see what happens, and then that gets him to go. Because you know how sometimes you're like, "This is really fucking pissing me off," and you're too close to the thing to see what the solution could be, and it takes a committee of other people to be like, "You know what would really be funny if you didn't do it anymore."
Or if he was just like, "You know what? I don't like that he's getting some laugh off this fucking racial slur. So you know what?
Right.
I'm just not going to do those jokes." And then he won't do that joke. And then he doesn't watch.
Good point.
And then he doesn't fucking watch.
Yeah.
And I've told people that. I think you had told me who you think it was, or maybe Kelsey did. And I've told people that I'm like 80% who it might be, but I never say because I'm not 100%, and I don't want to fucking put that on the wrong person.
It's almost like this myth at this point.
It's the best.
But it is. I mean, there's just so many lessons to be learned in that story. So many emotional lessons, social lessons, stand-up lessons. There's a lot of shit to mine from this story for everybody.
To me, that is the greatest road story ever.
It is. It's good. And you and I have some good ones, but nothing compares. Absolutely nothing compares.
I know. I mean, you have never followed my set by opening with that.
No.
And I've never closed with that.
Absolutely not.
God damn. All right. I love you. I'll hit you up. I'm going to call you, but let's end this.
Okay. Bye.